start of the game just really aggressive? Was that like an emphasis for you? Is that kind of just fun of you?
I actually felt tired, to be honest. I thought I was stiff and tired, but nah, it was good. I worked my way into it. Obviously, having a break, it's a little different. You get such a flow of playing every day sometimes, every other day pretty much. So you get 6 days off, a little winded. Your first four's a little tough, but I thought we, worked our way into it well. And, yeah, just trying to be aggressive, no matter who it is in front of me. But, finding mismatches and just trying to go out there and make the reads and make the right play.
When you're getting to the rim, it seems like you're getting to the rim and finishing just as much with your left as you are with your right. How comfortable are you finishing with that offhand, and what does your growth there with that offhand look like this season?
Yeah, I think my left hand is something I've always been comfortable with. Just being comfortable going both ways since I was young. So using that to my advantage, going both ways, being effective in that can really open up the floor and, finding holes and gaps that you want to drive to. So I think it's just, part of the game is just making those reads.
Which one's your dominant hand?
Right hand.
I mean, like when you're driving it, like, does your left feel like the dominant?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say I feel just as comfortable with left and right. I'm going either way, but I feel like people force me less sometimes. I guess it's a natural thing for right-handed players to get forced left, but yeah, I'm very comfortable going both ways for sure.
You had a sequence there in the first where you got the block on Daron Sharp, then came down and got the layup. Obviously, just you mentioned that you was tired. How did you find the energy to kind of compete on both ends like that?
Yeah, just playing as hard as I can. That's something I pride myself on. Every day, and since I was young, just playing really, really hard and giving 100% of my effort and energy no matter what. That's something you can control, and so just doing that to the best of my ability and leaving it all out there.
Do you feel like AD was, I don't know, reading the game maybe and kind of feeling things out? He obviously was a willing passer in the first half, and then he kind of knew when to go.
Do I feel like he was?
Did you see that in him?
Yeah, I mean, he's just, he's one of the best players in his position of all time, and he knows the game, incredibly well, and he knows when to pick his spots, and he knows when to attack, and he knows when he's getting doubled, and he knows where everybody is on the court. So, I think whatever he's doing out there, he's just got to be himself, keep it simple, and I trust he's going to make the right play all the time. Whether that's killing somebody and scoring it, or finding an open teammate, but. He's been in this business for a long time, and I just trust he's going to make the right plays, and I think that's what we've been seeing a lot of.
Before the game, Vince Carter was in here, and actually he asked Coach Kidd a question. He asked about the growth and kind of throwing you into the fire a little bit with allowing you to play point guard at first, and Coach said that even though the numbers don't show it, he said that he thinks that's something that benefited you and then related it to your ability in the clutch. So overall, what did you think of that little short journey as a point guard? And do you think that it has helped lead to your growth thus far?
Yeah, for sure. I think it definitely helped, to grow, and I learned a lot in that short period of time. And start of the season with a lot of losses and a lot of tough games. I think I learned a lot, in general. But I think just with that, just being comfortable and understanding, is a big thing. I hadn't really played point guard before, but it's a lot different than any other position, and you have to be aware of a lot of other things, and it's just a lot of new stuff if you haven't done it before. So I think I learned a ton just about what it takes to lead a team as a point guard, and just to know how to get everybody organized and those sort of things. I think I learned a lot in that short period of time, so I think it was pretty good for me.
So
we heard from Naji right before you, and he was asked about the kind of player he is. How would you describe the kind of player he is on this team?
Naji, he's the knife. That's his nickname for a reason. I mean, he just does a little bit of everything. He's everywhere. He'll cut up the defense, cut off the drive. He's been shooting it better. This year he shot it really well for us, and been really confident. So I think when he just is out there, we're a better team. Just defensively, he brings that dog and has the ability to just shut guys out in certain nights and matchups. But he just does everything. He's just such a win player, and you just need those type of guys on your team that you can just plug in with anybody else out there, and he immediately elevates the game.